Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club for round 4 of the VDUB Bug Enduro Cup. And we are at Alsace, a track I'm not too familiar with, I must say. So we'll be learning it as we go along, I imagine. And the VDUB Bug Enduro Cup is just the Group 3 Beetles on GT Sports, and they're racing with a higher fuel setting. It's on ×5, as is the tyres, sorry. Not feeling too great today, I must say. This is going to be an interesting stream. It's self-inflicted, so I can't say nothing. Skyjacker in the chat saying evening again. I know, we had the pit stop earlier. That was brilliant. It was good. I don't know. I'm feeling very surreal at the moment. I don't know what's going on. But yes, we have the fuel set at ×5 and the tyre wear set at ×5. They can use either the racing soft or racing medium, but so far this season, the first 3 rounds, they have just stuck to the soft tyre. And why not? Why not? Why would you use the mediums? They're a lot slower, and there's no gain from them. And so we're at Alsace for this round. I'll tell you, if I can, the information on this track. It's 3.37 miles long with 17 turns. And it's got a few straights there, so fuel is going to be a real issue for these guys out there. You can see they're doing around about, well, the fastest is a 150.277 set by Mr. Skyjacker. So it's a long lap, so that means the 15-minute qualifying, which will start at 8 o'clock, they're not going to get many laps in. They're not going to have a great opportunity to do a few flying laps. Oh, stream's a bit jumpy. Oh dear, I don't know. Oh gosh. I tested the internet. The kids are meant to be off of the internet. One of them grumbled, so possibly he hasn't. I can quickly go and check. How he's doing. But that's unfortunate if that's the case. Watching it on my iPad at the moment, trying to see how it goes before I go upstairs, starting to raise hell. I think it's not too bad. Maybe he was on his game and now he's come off. I did give him the warning. We'll stick with it for now. It seems okay. So yes, we're at Alsace for round 4 of this championship. I'll tell you the table so far. We've still got a good 11 minutes before qualifying. God, I'm on early. So Matt Psycho is leading the championship. He's on 49 points. Digital Blasphemy second on 42 points. Skyjacker third on 38 points. Daz is 4th on 27 points. Then Katula 5th on 26 points. He's joint 5th really with Shiren, who's also on 26 points. 7th is Koikar on 24 points. Racer Brown 8th in 20 points. Uncle B Darren is 9th on 20 points. Electric is 10th on 15 points. JWO Pace is 11th on 14 points. Jokus is 12th on 12 points. Turtle is 13th on 11 points. Ranger is 14th on 7 points. Rido is 15th on 5 points. And Rivixter is 16th on 3 points. And Rivixter let us know earlier today he can't make this evening, as he's not feeling too good. So that's unfortunate. No Rivixter this evening. But we can have a look through to see who is here. We've got Uncle B Darren out there in his pink Beetle, looking very nice indeed. Webb Smurfer has joined us this week in a Jägermeister liveried Beetle. His first race with us here at the VRC, and he is rather eager. So, and he's fast as well, it seems. Can he make the fuel last, though? This is the question. It's not all about speed here in the VDUB Enduro Cup. It's about managing your car. We've got Turtle out there in his M&M's Beetle, looking very nice indeed. Skyjacker in his black and green. He carries throughout all his races. If he's not in a black and green monster liveried vehicle, then something very strange is going on. But yes, and why not? Because they always look cracking. It is a very nice livery to go with. We have a Sharon out there in a very colourful Beetle. A Beetle of my generation with MTV and Atari and all of those things on it. All the things I held dear as a youth. Skyjack saying may sort itself out, mate. Yeah, hopefully. Koi Carp out there in the VRC colours. Driving his Beetle, car 23. Looking to get some positions in the championship. And then in the pits we can see Daz Rido et al. Oh, Ranger's out there now in his car. Oh, a nice Gulf one. Looking very delightful. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Who else? So Matt Psycho, championship leader, just hitting the track now. Should we see about onboard business? Maybe we can get an insight into what this track looks like. It looks difficult. It looks very difficult. These guys are going to have their hands full out there at Alsace. Sleepy village in France, being woken up by the beastly sounds of these bugs and their super powerful engines. They've got some grunt, I must say. And yes, like I said, at 8 o'clock we'll be having a 15-minute qualifying session, which then we will move on to a 60-minute endurance race. Where, like I said before, it's not just about how fast you can go, it's about conserving that fuel. So a lot of coasting, a lot of... Oh, that's a nasty corner, that one. You can see him really struggling to slow the Beetle down. Yeah, it's about trying to carry speed through the corners and not get too heavy on the accelerator. So your fuel lasts a little longer. Down the hill here, having to break into these final corners, really trying to slow this this Beetle down. Hard left, and then we're over the start straight line. Start finish line, sorry. As we head up to the first corner, keeping it to the right. Rido in the chat saying hello there. Hi, Rido. And so we're going to see it's going to be tough with fuel because that was all uphill and it was pretty straight. So I don't know what the guys are going to do. I think that's Daz just in front of us. He's got a lovely livery. It's gone a little wide, but that's all right. That Psycho says I'm fine with that. But yeah, they're long sweeping corners. You can see that they can't get away with just sitting off the accelerator around some of these corners. So it's either going to be they're going to be driving the cars a lot slower, but I think the pit lane isn't a major one. It's a short start straight, so maybe they'll opt for more pit stops this evening rather than trying to look after that fuel, because around this track it looks like it's going to be pretty tricky. As you can see, just long sweeping corners. Mama Sykes in the chat saying hello all. Hi Thingy, hi Mama. We're sat on board with your lad. your young lad. I know it was his birthday recently. Yes, that's a lap around here at Alsace with a Matt Psycho, and it looks like it's going to do their nuts in. It's going to be a tricky one. And it could be good for us out here in YouTube land for a very interesting race indeed. 1:49.2 we got out of that lap, put us third fastest in the practice. And little Webb Surfer, he's looking like he's a rather fast lad. Interesting stuff. He's gone for a medium tyre, so we will see. Daz out there, he's had some great races. Bad first laps, but great races coming up through the pack. He's got great car management. He looks after his fuel extremely well, and we're hoping he can get around the first lap without incident. He's last couple of races, for one reason or another, he's ended up shuffling to the back of the pack and then having to come back in the races, and he's come back beautifully. So if he can get a good start, get a good qualifying session and start up near the front, I think he is a very dangerous driver. Definitely got podiums written all over that Beetle, I am sure. And it's a great livery, I must say. We're only minutes away. Rido saying 29 seconds for a full tank. And new tyres, such a short pit as well. There. Is there anyone I've missed? Electric out there. Electric's been having some good races in the VDUBs. VDUB bugs. Again though, heavy right foot, burns up the fuel a little faster than he probably would like to in the races. But he slings that Beetle around very well. Minutes away from the start of the race. It's very exciting. Well, start of qualifying, should I say. And it looks like the new boy, the American, he's fast out the box. Car 72. He was a reserve. He's come in. He's I've seen a couple of people who joined coming back. I haven't seen Cthulhu either. I don't know if Cthulhu's given up on it, but yeah. New boy, Webb Smurfer, very good. Smurfer, Webby. I'm sure I'll find a name when we start racing for him. He's looking fast, I should say, out the box. Uncle B, we know is fast. Qualifying is going to be very tight around here, I am sure. Look at them, all within tenths of each other. Daz as well. Turtle up there. Oh, Skyjacker asking if we are ready. I'm ready, so I'm going to give it an R. So we watch Turtle make his way around in the car 63. His Ninja Turtle helmet looks very nice. As everyone is saying that they're ready, we'll be getting underway pretty soon for our 15-minute of qualifying here at Alsace for the VDUB Enduro Cup, round 4. It's going to be a corker, I hope. And it's yeah. Like I said, we've got a new lad, but that Psycho's gone a little closer to him, so it's going to be interesting. There is the qualifying just about to start, and we'll see them peel out. And again, with a long track, it's interesting to see how they're going to deal. Oh, Digital Blasphemy's joined the room just at the wrong time. he might have to wait until qualifying is over and get put to the back, possibly. That's usually how it's done. I can't find a car that's out of the pit lane at the moment. So they're making their way round. They're very close. They are told to... there's a car in there. I don't recognise who it is. Oh no, Skyjacker's going to exit. Who is that then? Oh, it's Rito. I didn't see him in the practice, but they're all going to exit. They're going to restart qualifying. I suppose it is just at the beginning of qualifying, so it probably is worth just quitting out rather than doing the whole 15 minutes and having to... doing the whole 15 minutes again. Well, not again, but doing the 15 minutes, then quitting out. Web Smurfer not quitted out yet, but they've only gone to the pits. Not actually a red X'd. Or maybe it's just me seeing them still in. I'll have a quick come out and have a look. There they all go. Yes, I think it was just me being in the room. Made them look like they were still in there. It's just Uncle B Darren we're waiting for to quit out at the moment. He's in the pits and now he's out. So we'll be starting that again, I'm sure, with a digital blasphemy in. And he doesn't want to miss around really, does he? Because he's second in the championship. He's giving Matt Psycho a good run for his money. In the chat, Mama Psych saying go Matt. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. When qualifying gets underway again, he is the man to beat out there, it seems, in this league, this championship. He's come to terms with this Beetle quite nicely, and the fuel saving. He was, I think he was a bit unsure over the whole fuel saving part of the championship, but he's does it the best. Pat in the chat saying just here in time. Hope we have a fun race tonight. I'm looking forward to it. And they're not. Now the qualifying has started with Digital Blasphemy only just getting in the room. Ranger out there in his Gulf liveried Beetle, and now qualifying has begun again. It's not too bad, is it? Didn't lose too much time there. That's why Skyjack is one of the best hosts. He's very slick. He's a very slick jacker, we should call him. As they make their way out on their outlap. See Rido in the white Red Bull, like the Red Bull team ran at Suzuka, and it's nice to see that livery's lived on. It really is. Great stuff. Pat in the chat saying hope Web Smurfer enjoys the race. I'm also supporting Rido and UBD as well. Yes, there's a few out there, I think. Got a good opportunity to take it to Matt Psycho. Web Smurfer looked, it looks like Matt Psycho had a bit of a moment in qualifying. Yeah, he's just sitting there letting the rest of the gang go by. Saw him just going over the curb a little bit. He doesn't want to do that in the race. Get that out of his system early doors as he gets underway again. But Web Smurfer, he was one of the fastest in the practice we had just before. So he should do well in qualifying. It's going to be very interesting indeed. And that is a brand new Beetle. You can see just above, or just below their fuel gauge. Tells you the miles they've done on the car, and this is only 2 miles, which I think is just in practice there. Whereas in Skyjacker, you can see 479 miles done on his Beetle. Don't know if that's 399 for electric. Oh, Rido's had an off. But he hasn't started the flying lap yet, so not too bad. He's still got a chance. 805 miles for Ranger. We'll be ready for an engine change in that Beetle soon. So they're underway now, some of them on their hot laps. Skyjacker is first on track, so he'll be the man who sets the first time, followed by Electric. Then we have Daz. Daz will be looking for a good qualifying position here, set himself up for a great start to the race. Making his way around, all spacing themselves out rather nicely at the moment. Turtle, quick up, Rido. Here's Matt Psycho. We saw he was at a small off. Uncle B out there. He usually likes to sit in the pits and wait a little bit. He's still on his outlap, as is Digital Blasphemy. We've seen Digital Blasphemy. He's already burnt through his fuel. He's done his fuel burning. Likes to stay in first gear and get a lot of that fuel off before he starts the qualifying. Gets the car lighter. There's Electric. Oh, Skyjacker. Has he had enough? It does look like it, yeah. He's got his hazards on to allow the cars to stream by. So it's going to be Electric that's going to post the first time. It's going to go pole for Electric at the moment. And then we're looking at Daz. Daz has got purples. He's in pole now. Very good. Ranger goes second fastest in his Gulf Beetle. Shiren goes third fastest, as they're all setting times. Turtle behind Electric there. Web Smurfer, he's only good for sixth fastest there at the moment. Koi Carp, he's gone ahead of him. Koi in sixth. Ooh, hey up. Matt Psycho grabbing pole. That's his natural position. So Daz, second fastest. We've got Ranger, third fastest so far. Shiren in fourth. Electric, fifth. Turtle, possibly starting sixth. We've still got 10 minutes of qualifying to go. Koi Carp in seventh. Rido getting 8th place. Web Smurfer is in 9th. Skyjacker 10th. We saw he had a bit of an off. Uncle B not quite finishing his lap yet, nor has a Digital Blasphemy, as they make their way around. Keeping an eye on them guys to see how they do, as UB comes up to the end of the lap. It's a tricky couple of corners, that one, trying to slow the car down. You go downhill into the corner, so all the weight is shifted to the front. That means you get a lot of understeering. He's got pole. Great stuff from UB. And how is Digital Blasphemy going to fare as he comes around? And he's going to grab himself a sixth place behind Shiren, just ahead of Electric. So UB doing a cracking job on his first outlap. Matt Psycho, Electric's crossed the line again. He's gone a faster time. He's gone back ahead of Digital, I think. Digi got that sixth. And now Shiren setting a time. Shiren going fourth fastest. Cracking stuff. Turtle's gone faster, so has Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer has gone second fastest. Skyjacker now fourth fastest. They're all shuffling around. Great stuff. Koi Carp's gone faster, so has Rido. Trying to find some of these guys. There's Rido 11th, Koi Carp in 12th. So Rido 3/10 faster than Koi at the moment. Brilliant stuff. Digital Blasphemy dropping down 2/10. He'll be wanting to do a better. Get back ahead of Electric, possibly. Around the longer, sweeping right-hander. Immense corner that is. Always banked, so you can get away with a bit more speed in that corner. As he heads up now to a tight hairpin. He's trying to get it around as smoothly as possible. You see the back end slipping out a little bit. It's a beautiful thing about these Beetles. They move around quite a bit. Oh, and he's gone a little wide there. Has it cost it? Oh, and it's cost him a lot. Poor Digi. He's going to have to gather himself up and give it another go. But Uncle B, meanwhile, still on that pole position. And I think he's already had a pole in this series, so there's definitely proof that he is one of the faster boys. But like I said, this championship, it's not all about the speed. Electric going across the line. He's gone 7th fastest. Daz has gone in for a bit of fuel, it seems. Ranger setting another time. And Shiren also going 4th, going ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker oh, and Skyjacker has gone back ahead of Shiren, so they've swapped places. Shiren went ahead of Skyjacker, and now Skyjacker has returned the favour and gone back ahead of Shiren. Them two battling it out for that 4th and 5th place. Matt Psycho showing purples as he makes his way around the final corner. Looks like Matt Psycho is going to put it back on that pole position for himself. He does indeed. 3/10 faster than Uncle B. Web Smurfer, he's been over the line, so Uncle B, how can he do? Can he snatch that pole back from himself? He's quite away from the line yet. He's the next person to cross the line, though, so he could just sit with him. He's getting greens, not purples, so greens mean that's their own personal best, whereas a purple means they're going faster than anyone else on the track. As he comes down, like I said, that tricky corner, it's coming downhill all the way, shifted to the front of the car, so understeer. Like anything, he crosses the line, he goes faster than he's been, but not fast enough for that pole position. So Matt Psycho still remaining the pole sitter for now. Web Smurfer, he's new to the series and seems to be rather swift, so keeping an eye on him. Digital Blasphemy sets a time. Digital Blasphemy good enough for 10th place for now, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get some movement on the go there. Turtle just ahead of him in 9th place, coming down towards the line. Doesn't go any faster than he's gone before. Someone, Web Smurfer, he's gone faster, he's gone ahead of Uncle B, but again Matt Psycho still sitting aloft on that pole position. Rido has gone faster, puts him up into 10th ahead of Digital Blasphemy. So it's all very close stuff throughout the pack there. You see Digital Blasphemy some 3/10 behind Rido. Rido only a 10th behind Turtle's time. Turtle only 3/10 off of Electric's time. He's thousandths up at the moment, hundredths up. Can he find another 3/10 out there to get himself ahead of Electric? So he makes his way around. We saw Daz going into the pits to top up with fuel, and Matt Psycho's just been in to get some more fuel as well. Uncle B has gone back up the top again. So, wow, that's 3 changes of pole so far between those 3 drivers. Uncle B Darren and Matt Psycho and Web Smurfer. We're watching Turtle at the moment, the Flying Dutchman, to see if he can get himself, or he'll probably come in the pits actually. It would be a pointless watch. Digital Blasphemy up into 8th place. Digital Blasphemy up into 8th. Ranger's gone faster. Ranger has gone faster. And now I can't find him. Oh, yes. Lovely. In 5th place there for Ranger. He split Shiren and Skyjacker. We saw Skyjacker and Shiren both swapping. And Skyjacker's gone faster up into 3rd place. It's got Web Smurfer down into 4th. We've got 3 more minutes left of qualifying. Web Smurfer, he's going to make his way back to the pit lane. His fuel is absolutely on the line. So Uncle B, 2/10 ahead of Mr. Psycho. Ranger into the pits for a top up. And you can see there Matt Psycho just slowly making his way around. Doesn't want to burn any fuel needlessly on his outlap. He's coming up to near the end. We're going to stick with Matt, I believe. on this lap here to see how he does. He's coming around the final corners, winding her up for a very fast lap indeed. Here he goes, he's crossed the line, and he'll be trying to snatch that pole position back from Uncle B as he makes his way around the first corner, heading up the hill, swinging it to the left, over the crest of that, and then heavy onto the brakes down to the right-hander. Yes. Oh. Web Smurfer, you are allowed to fuel. It's a bit of a... Of course you're allowed to fuel. Can't expect you not to fuel up in this. You've seen guys jumping into the pits. I don't know whether or not to answer him. You're not really meant to discuss or chat in that. But someone should answer him, really. I don't want to... Oh, it's a weird one. Yes, Web Smurfer, if you've got the stream on, you can refuel. Yes, he's gone in. Yes, he's gone in and refueled. Skyjacker's gone in. So we're watching a Matt Psycho trying to get that position back from Uncle B. He's a tenth off his own time, 10th and a half off of his own time. So he's got to find a little bit more. Oh, it looks like he's backed out of it. He's backed out of it. He's going to give it he's going to save a bit more fuel, try and get round to the line before the minute's out, possibly. I'm not sure. Maybe that was it. That was his last attempt. What's Uncle B doing? Uncle B, he's really on the limit for fuel at the moment, sliding into that corner, absolutely flying. Is he going to try and put pole position out of Matt Psycho's reach? Oh no, he's coming. He's not going to be able to get another run in. So Matt, I believe he's going for it again. Skyjacker, I don't believe he's coming back out again. Web Smurfer into the pits. Sharen's on an outlap, but the timer's going to run out before he gets around. Daz on a run. He's 3/10 down on his time. So we'll have a look at what it looks like so far. So we got UBD on pole position so far. Matt Psycho going for pole position in this lap. He's doing the right thing. He's a 10th and a half up through the first sector. Ooh, hanging it out over those curbs. Skyjacker's third fastest. Web Smurfer is fourth fastest. Ranger fifth. Sharen sixth. Daz crossing the line, stays in seventh. Digital Blasphemy 8th, 9th for Electric, 10th for Turtle, 11th for Rido. He's having a bit of an off. I don't know if he's going to go any faster. And Koikart there in 12th. But we're looking at this man here. He's not getting... He's got purples. He's going for that pole. He might be able to do it. If he can keep it clean and tidy for this last part of the lap. Oh, he's out wide there, and oh no! Oh, what a shame. Matt Psycho going for gold. He gave it his all. Car 16. Couldn't ask for much more than that, so the time has now run out. Uncle B Darren looks like he's secured pole position for round 4. And Matt Psycho in second. Skyjacker third fastest. Web Surfer looks like he's starting 4th. Ranger starting in 5th. And Sharen 6th. Daz starting in 7th. Digital Blasphemy starting in 8th. Electric starting 9th. Turtle in 10th. With Rido in 11th. And Koikart starting 12th. We're just waiting for the counter to count down, I guess. Whilst we look at that man there, he secured pole with a 48.084. A great lap. And Matt Psycho gave it his all in the end there, but a little clip of the barrier put end to his efforts. Skyjacker, solid drive again in qualifying to get 3rd. A great starting point. Web Smurfer, new to the group. He's out there in 4th. Unfortunately, he wasn't sure he was allowed to refuel, but we'll have to keep him up to date with the rules. But yes, you can refuel in quali. Ranger there in 5th, starting 5th. So great start for Ranger, really. He's having some practice starts. Shiren 6th on the grid with Daz in 7th. Digital Blasphemy starting in 8th. He's 2nd in the championship, so he'll be looking to move up the order. Electric starting in 9th. 10th for Turtle. 11th for Rido, and qualifying has ended, and that is the grid. How interesting is this going to be? I'm just slurping on my coffee. I apologise. I'm getting it out the way before we start a 60-minute race around here at Alsace for round 4. And Uncle B getting it on pole ahead of Mr. Psycho as we wait for the green lights. They're red at the moment. They're coming on. I think they don't go green, do they? They just go off. And we are go. Yes, they do go green. There you go. So Uncle B having a tremendous start there. Matt Psycho start not as great. Skyjacker jumping up into 2nd. Matt Psycho battling it out with Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer on the inside there, and they're side by side through the corner, but it looks like Matt Psycho secures that 3rd in the end. Digital Blasphemy, what a start. Was he down in 9th? And he's up to 4th already. Shiren in 5th. Web Smurfer's dropped down to 6th or 7th. It looks like Turtle's just about to pip him. But now Web Smurfer trying to come back at the Turtle, but he's got the Ranger right up his inside there, and Daz dropped down to 9th in that start. And then we've got Rido in 10th, 11th for Koi Carp, and Electric dropping right to the back of the pack, but they are all very close together out there. Uncle B pulling away, Skyjacker in 2nd place, and I mean, I know they do have to save fuel, they have to change their engine mapping to make it fuel saving modes, but I imagine on the first lap it's just full out, go for it. But Uncle B so far 1 second ahead of Skyjacker. Matt Psycho will probably try and be clever here, sit behind Sky possibly, if it's not going to cost him too much time, to try and fuel save for this first stint of the race, although he's caught Skyjacker up quite a lot at the moment. Digital Blasphemy, his closest rival in the championship, is sitting just behind Matt Psycho. Interesting racing up front. Then 5th we have Shiren, and they're all closing up here at Alsace. Web Smurfer in 6th, and look at them all at the back there. Turtle 7th, Rido in 8th, Daz 9th, 10th for Ranger, who qualified quite well. He's dropped back a little bit, and Electric and Koi Carp having the duel there, and Electric going ahead of Koi Carp at the moment. Koi Carp giving the little curve barrier a knock, but at the moment Uncle B Darren leads them around for a 60-minute race here with Skyjacker in 2nd, and Digital Blasphemy's managed to get himself ahead, and he's going for it on Skyjacker as well. No fuel saving there for Digi. He's going for it. He's like, screw it, I'm going to do an extra pit stop. I'm just going to go for it. So Digital Blasphemy up into 2nd, getting himself ahead of Skyjacker and Matt Psycho. Shiren has drawn himself a little closer to Matt, and this is going to be some tight racing here at Alsace, I believe. Skyjacker sitting on the tail of Digi, trying to find a way by, back ahead, and meanwhile Uncle B up at the front there, doing the job that he needs to do, with Digital Blasphemy 2nd, Skyjacker in 3rd, then Matt Psycho in 4th, Shiren looking like he's getting juicy as we sit on board with Shiren in 5th place. He's got Web Smurfer right behind him, not far at all. There he is. You can see the Beatles headlights looming large in the back of Shiren's car. And there you can see them all jostling for positions. Digital Blasphemy, oh, it's all lovely closed up in that corner, and they're all within touching distance of each other. And Digital Blasphemy holding on to that 2nd place ahead of Skyjacker with Matt Psycho just behind them. And then the Russian sensation Shiren in 5th place. Very close stuff. Web Smurfer not far behind. And it looks like Shiren's going for a move around the outside of Matt Psycho, but it wasn't on. He couldn't make it stick. And Matt Psycho staying there in 4th. And Web Smurfer will be looking to get a move done on the Shiren. He's looking up the inside now, Web Smurfer on Shiren. Shiren holding steady though for that 5th place. And it looks like Digital's pulled away a little bit from Skyjacker. He's chasing down Uncle B. He wants that Uncle B's position. Uncle B doing a 51.2 on that second lap where Digital Blasphemy went fastest with a 50.4. Skyjacker a 51.5. A 51.2 from Matt Psycho. Web Smurfer has got himself ahead of Shiren. So cracking stuff and so far. Shiren down into 6th. Then we've got Rido there in 7th, doing a brilliant job. Turtle in 8th. It's spread out a little bit down here. Electric. Oh, Daz seems to have dropped back. Daz has dropped back a little bit from those guys, as has a Ranger. Maybe these two going into some immense fuel. We've seen that Daz really stretch out those fuel tanks. So possibly that is the tactic. Uncle B so far though, still leading from Digital Blasphemy. Oh, Digital Blasphemy's lost a bit of time because Skyjacker has caught him back up again. And it's all very tight around here at Alsace. Look at this group of cars, all kissing bumpers. And Shiren went a little wide in that corner. So he's not quite there, but looks to me like Web Smurfer wants to get the move done on Matt Psycho at this point. Matt Psycho looking for a way past Skyjacker, and he's looking one way, he's looking the other. He's up the inside, but not quite close enough it seems. But yes, he's got it around the outside now from Skyjacker, and he makes it stick. And yes, Matt Psycho moving up into 3rd place ahead of Skyjacker. And Skyjacker, with his defending from Matt Psycho, left himself open to Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer right there on his tail. And now Skyjacker looks like he's trying to come back at Matt Psycho. They're side by side going up the hill. And it's close racing indeed. A close quarter racing from these three. Look at this. Web Smurfer trying to get involved in this race. And they're giving Digital... Oh no, Uncle B. Uncle B. I don't know if he's made a mistake or he's just backing out of it. But Digital Blasphemy has caught up Uncle B and he's passed. So now we have Digital Blasphemy leading the race from Uncle B Darren. Skyjacker has got himself ahead of Matt Psycho for 3rd. Matt Psycho looks to be coming back at Skyjacker though. And this little clump of cars here, Skyjacker, Matt Psycho, Web Smurfer. Oh, Skyjacker out there on the curbs. Is it going to hurt him? It does look like it has done, because Matt Psycho now moving up into 3rd place. But Skyjacker's going to have the inside line in this next corner. And he gets through back up into 3rd. These two swapping places every corner at the moment. Is cracking stuff. And there comes Web Smurfer. Oh, God. Web Smurfer on the inside as well. Skyjacker in the middle of a beetle sandwich. And it looks like he's going to lose out on both of them at this point. He's still alongside Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer not quite ahead, but Web Smurfer's going to have the inside line for this hairpin. And it looks like Web Smurfer now going up into 4th place. But Skyjacker's still not letting him get away. He's there. They're side by side. Web Smurfer's gone out wide. It's Web Smurfer. He's gone out wide there. And Skyjacker, he's slowing down. Maybe he feels he was the cause of that. Oh, poor Skyjacker. And Web Smurfer racing is racing. Digital Blasphemy is still leading from Uncle B. Digi has got a little bit better fuel than Uncle B. They're around the halfway mark, half tank, as is Matt Psycho. Shiren then gaining the best out of that situation between Skyjacker and Web Smurfer. And Rido moving up into 5th. Turtles moved up to 6th. Electric in 7th. Koi Cup, wow, my lord, the whole field's near enough come past. Daz is up to 9th. There's Web Smurfer. He's got himself back going again with Skyjacker there in 11th. And a Ranger sitting there behind them in 12th. It's brought him back into this race. Oh dear, we lost. Did we lose someone? I don't know. So a Digital Blasphemy leading the way from Uncle B. Uncle B backing off now. I think he's realising he's got to save that fuel a little better. And Matt Psycho catching up Uncle B at this point in the race. We're only 8 minutes in, 8.5 minutes, and we've had nothing but action since the start of the race. Shiren's dropped back from them guys. They're all on around about half a tank of fuel, except for Rido. Rido's on a quarter. And Turtle, he's just coming up to a quarter of a tank. Electric in 7th as well, on a quarter of a tank of fuel. Koikarp, he's fuel saved, lovely. Sitting there behind Turtle, Electric and Rido. And if they have to make an extra pit stop, Koikarp's sitting in a perfect spot, as is Daz. Daz doing well with fuel at the moment. Smurfer, he's down to a quarter of a tank, and Skyjacker on half a tank. So is a Ranger sitting back there. So Digital Blasphemy, he's doing quite good, isn't he? He's on half a tank of fuel. And he's holding that lead quite much from Uncle B. It's 2.5 seconds now. Matt Psycho closing in on Uncle B. And Shiren not too far behind those guys in his Beetle. Rido up into 5th, but he's burning through the fuel, is Rido. And that's, as is Turtle and Electric. So these guys are going to pit in the next couple of laps, where Koikarp and Daz probably can carry on out there. And they're only 1.7 seconds ahead of Web Smurfer and Skyjacker, who I think Web Smurfer is going to have to pit at the same time as the other guys. But Digital Blasphemy, he's just got the fastest lap out there. He's flying. He really is. He's coming back at Matt Psycho in this championship. Matt Psycho's got himself ahead of Uncle B. And Uncle B just tucked up behind Matt Psycho at the moment, trying to use his slipstream to save a bit of fuel. Shiren only 1.5 seconds behind those guys, running his race, hoping for the best here. And Rido, I think he's going to pit at the end of this lap. It looks to me. It's all closed up at the front there, in between these lot. Matt Psycho, Uncle B and Shiren all running quite close together. Similar fuel loads on each car. Rido, yeah, his fuel's just started flashing, so I'm guessing he'll be into the pits at the end of this one, as will Electric, who looks like he's just got ahead of Turtle. Turtle, a bit better fuel than Electric, but I believe he's going to probably pit as well. Koikarp making that fuel last, moved up to 8th place. He's doing a super job, as is Daz. Daz not saving fuel as much as Koikarp at the moment. So strategies is interesting at the moment. So Turtle did stay out. Koi's gone ahead. Daz has gone ahead. But Electric, Rido and Web Smurfer have all come into the pits for the first stops after 11 minutes. Digital Blasphemy, mind you, he's doing brilliant on fuel, is Digi. He's doing a lot better than Uncle and Matt Psycho and Shiren. Digital Blasphemy really looking after his fuel out there in the lead of this race. In the chat, we have Mama Syke saying great racing, Ethan saying go Ranger, and Wesley Van Luyn saying Ranger. He's doing a cracking job. He's saving fuel. He's up to 9th now. He's got plenty of fuel on. Skyjacker doing a good job as well with that fuel. And Daz and Koi, similar to Ranger, they'll all be pitting similar times. Digital Blasphemy though, really surprising with that fuel. He's really doing well. Matt Psycho just under a quarter. Uncle B a little bit less than that. Shiren catching him up. And it's the Turtle. Turtle's really got to ease up though. It's a long lap. And it looks to me already like Daz is going to catch him up pretty vastly as they make their way around. And it looks to me Koikarp has caught up Daz as well. Koi saved that fuel really nicely at the beginning of this race. But wasn't Daz behind Koi though? So Daz, he's obviously dropped the hammer. He's decided, I'm going to burn through the fuel. There it is. Oh, and Turtle, has he run out? He's still got some fuel on there. He's got to the pit lane now, so he can come in, and it'll be next to these guys behind him, like Etel, like Rido. who went in. Electric and Web Smurfer. Turtle will be trying to beat them out of the pits, whilst Digital Blasphemy still only on a quarter of a tank with Matt Psycho. Some 2.3 seconds behind him. Uncle B has been caught up with by Shiren, trying to squeeze out every last bit of fuel in that car. Shiren's got a little bit more to play with than Uncle B. Uncle B, he's going to be crawling to the pits. It's not too bad for him. He's only got a few corners left to do. Meanwhile, Digital Blasphemy absolutely lording it out there in the lead, 2 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho will be pitting at the end of this lap, as you can see. His fuel has just come up, flashing. There's Uncle B, still maintained ahead of Shiren. So a great job from UB at the moment. Daz will be pitting at the end of this lap, but I guess they're going to try and get to that 15-minute mark and try and make it a 3 pit stop lap. Coy has been caught up by Skyjacker, and Skyjacker yet to pit as well. He's got past Coy Carp, chasing Daz down. So Sky trying to come back in this race with his earlier moment with Web Smurfer, and Coy's doing a cracking job saving that fuel. The tyres are really getting hit hard here. You can see there goes Matt Psycho into the pits along with Uncle B and Shiren. Digital Blasphemy managing to squeeze so much out of his Beetle at the moment. We are expecting Daz to come in. Sky can stay out there, it seems, for a little bit longer. So Skyjacker managing to move up into 3rd place. Shiren came in, changed tyres, but didn't put a lot of fuel in. It's an interesting tactic from Shiren. He's going to have to come in again. That's not a lot of fuel for Shiren at all. Koi Carp moved ahead. Matt Psycho's back out, full tank of fuel, fresh tyres, taking the race to Digi, and so did Uncle B. I think Shiren must have got a bit eager with his button. He's going to have to come back in and refuel, I think. Digital Blasphemy is doing well with fuel, as is Skyjacker and Koi Carp, both running quite high. And Matt Psycho making his way by with the fresher tyres and more fuel. So Matt Psycho moving back up into 4th place after his pit stop. And you've got Uncle B some 5 seconds behind that. It's got a while till he catches up. Koi Carp, Rido out there, one of the earlier pit stoppers. He's being caught by Electric at the moment. And it's only tenths dividing them on track. Rido, though, doing a solid drive for 7th at the moment. Ahead of Electric. Web Smurfer, he's gone for medium tyres. He's feeling the tyre wear. There's quite a lot out there. So Web Smurfer has gone for a set of mediums as Digital brings her in. He brings her in, and Shiren, we are assuming, is going to come in as well, which is going to kill Shiren's race. He might get another lap out of that fuel, and I imagine he's rather quite cross with himself. He stayed out there. He's gone for another lap, but his fuel, he's not put a lot of fuel in that car. Skyjacker, he's squeezing another lap out of it, but Digital Blasphemy's already back out onto the track in 2nd place. Super stuff. Koi Carp's decided to take it in. Koi Carp, and he's racing Rido today. Rido already going by, and Electric getting ahead. Daz and Koi were quite close on track, so Daz now up into 9th place as Koi Carp. And there is Turtle. Oh, Turtle's had a big damage there. It looks like Turtle's had a bit of an off, and Ranger, he's ahead. He's got himself ahead of Koi at this point in the race. And Koi down in 11th, and they'll be trying to eke those fuel tanks out the best they can as Turtle. He's done something to his car. But Shiren, his fuel is flashing already. So he is going to have to pit, and that's going to put him down in the middle of that pack. He's going to be fighting the likes of Rido, Electric and Web Smurfer as he tries to get the fastest lap. Digital Blasphemy holding that fastest lap at the moment. He's on his outlap. He didn't fill right up either, did he? He's only gone for 3/4 of a tank. Skyjacker eking every last bit of fuel out of that car. Has been caught up by Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho, though, he's not got past him yet. He's going for it now. Over the hill. Down the other side. There's Skyjacker. Lets him go through. Eek. Skyjacker's tyres, I was a little nervous for him. Braking behind Matt Psycho. Shiren has gone back into the pits there. Skyjacker, he'll peel off to the right and into the pits, which puts Uncle B up into 3rd place. He's only 1.6 seconds behind Matt Psycho, giving Matt Psycho a real race of it today. But Digital Blasphemy is absolutely flying out there. Cracking stuff. So the running order so far on lap 11, nearly 20 minutes, all turtles left. Nearly 20 minutes into the race, 19.5 minutes, is Digital Blasphemy leading with Matt Psycho in 2nd place. He's some 8 seconds off of Digital Blasphemy, but he is carrying a lot more fuel than Digi. Digi didn't seem to top up when he pitted. So interesting tactic there from Digital Blasphemy. Uncle B in a 3rd spot. He's just got the fastest lap of the race, which is worth a point for these guys, as is Paul. So Uncle B trying to close that gap between himself and Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho running a 52.1 his last lap around. He had to get past Skyjacker though, and Uncle B doing a 49.5, closing in on Matt Psycho. Rido out there in 4th, doing a fantastic job. He's down to 1/4 of a tank of fuel though. There is Shiren, he's been in, new tyres, tops back up with fuel. He's going for a move on Rido. Rido on the older tyres there. He's trying to defend from the Russian Sensation. The Russian Sensation is doing the flip-flop. It looked like he went out wide there. He's gone for the move up the inside and he gets it stick. He sticks it, but no. Yes, he is. I thought it was the angle. I thought Rido was back up alongside him, but no. Shiren back up into 4th, even with that extra pit stop. And Rido in 5th. He's 2 seconds ahead of Webb Smurfer on those medium tyres. Webb Smurfer, he's doing 51s and 52s. So not a great loss of time on the medium tyres, as he chases down Rido, who's having a great race in 5th place at the moment. Electric in 7th. He's only got 1/4 of a tank of fuel left. He's racing with Daz. Daz got lots more fuel, lots more grip on his tyres. He's going for a move on Electric as they go up the hill. Electric just staying slightly ahead there in 7th place. And we lost Electric must have spun. Didn't even see him spin. How weird. And Skyjacker then gaining a position from Electric, having his moment, as does Ranger. Ranger now up into 9th, 3 seconds behind Skyjacker. Skyjacker a bit more fuel than Ranger. And there goes Koi, just moving ahead of Electric. And Ranger having a good race so far, looking after that fuel, as we are 22 minutes into this 60-minute race. Yes, the Gulf liveried Beetle, saving fuel out there, having a good run. He's got himself ahead of Koi and Electric. Koi on 3/4 of a tank, fresh tyres. Electric, his tyres are quite old. I didn't even see he was alongside when they were going up that hill with Rido. Was it Rido? I can't remember. Daz. But I didn't see what happened to Electric. He must have gone out a little wide and had a spin. But Daz, we've seen in the past, he manages his fuel very well out there, and he does gain positions usually during the race as he comes around to complete a lap 12. And Rido's pitted, so that's another position for Daz, and he's only 2 seconds behind 5th place Webb Smurfer. He's got better fuel than Webby. Skyjacker moving ahead, and Ranger also moving ahead of Rido as he goes into the pits. Electric also going into the pits there with Rido. So these two are battling it out in the pit lane. Rido's on the move again, back out ahead of Electric. Whilst Electric tops up with a fuel. Meanwhile, Digital Blasphemy has lost a second to Matt Psycho out there. Looks like he's starting to proper turn that engine down from doing 48s into the 50s. Matt Psycho chasing him down. Did a 49.9 his last time around. Uncle B, who's got the fastest lap, he's in the 50s. He's only 2.8 seconds behind Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho just under half a tank of fuel. Digital Blasphemy a little less fuel than Matt Psycho, but Uncle B, he's coming up to a quarter. Then we've got Shiren out there. He's on nearly 3/4 of a tank. So doing that extra pit stop, it might have helped him out, because he's going to be able to go longer in this session, in this stint. Web Smurfer, Daz has caught him up. Daz, we saw making the moves in a 6th place, and now he's caught up a Web Smurfer. If we get on board with Daz as he makes his way around, he's 5 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. I think Skyjacker's got plenty more fuel than Daz on board, so Daz will be pitting before him, and Web Smurfer, I think, pitting before, and you can see those medium tyres. He's gone in, probably to top up with fuel and get rid of those mediums, maybe. Yes, he was low on fuel. So Skyjacker moving up into 6th. He's got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. He's some 36 seconds off of the leader at the moment. But I think he's being very clever with his fuel. Is Skyjacker at the moment. Ranger up into 7th spot, half a tank of fuel. Ranger being very quiet in this race, but doing a very good job indeed. He's 4 seconds ahead of Koi. Similar fuel, just a little bit less as a Ranger than Koi Car. Smurfer is back out in 9th spot. He's stuck with those medium tyres, ahead of Rido, who's on the soft tyres. And this is going to be a classic between Rido and Smurfer, I believe. And Turtle in the chat saying internet issues, that a long time ago for me. So Digi still leading, still holding that 8 seconds to Matt Psycho. He's lapping in the 49s, mid to late 49s. Matt Psycho, he's gone back into the 50s, trying to fuel save. He's got 1/4 of a tank of fuel. He's going to be trying to get to the halfway mark, I'm assuming, as the rest of these are. Uncle B, he might pit at the end of this one. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough fuel to go for another lap. He feels confident he can get another lap out of that tank. So Uncle B getting another lap in with Shiren there, half a tank of fuel behind him. 10-second deficit on Uncle B. We'll be looking to try and get into that podium position. Daz doing an absolute corking race at the moment. He's up into 5th. He's only 4.3 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker's got a little more fuel. Daz is down to 1/4 of a tank, with Skyjacker on just over half a tank. A Ranger in 7th. He's only 9 seconds, behind Skyjacker. 3.6 seconds ahead of Koi in 8th place. Koi lapping in the 53s, trying to fuel save. He's got a little more fuel on than a Ranger, but Ranger's tyres are starting to look like they're feeling the pain of Alsace. It is a tyre killer, this track. And we see these Beetles, they do like to slide into the corners. And that can't help. But Digital Blasphemy looking after his tyres. He's under 1/4 of a tank of fuel now. Matt Psycho, they're both similar fuel loads. Matt hurting his tyres a little more than Digi. Digi really does look after his tyres, but this is looking very strong for Digital Blasphemy. I must say, he qualified quite poorly for him. Made a great start, jumped about 3 or 4 cars off of the line. And to me, it looked like he wasn't fuel saving at all. He was really pushing. The Beetle drove up to virtually the lead, and he's run a very good, very strong race, car 22 out there at the moment. ahead of Matt Psycho. Uncle B has gone into the pits. We predicted he was probably going to pit at the end of that one. And that leaves him open for Sharon. Sharon moving up into third place. Sharon's still got plenty of fuel on that one. So a good race run by Sharon at the moment. Daz, he's getting another fuel load out of that car. As he makes his way around, he's going to try and get to the halfway mark. As is Skyjacker in fifth. Skyjacker's still got plenty of fuel. He can go way over the halfway mark in this race, I think. Uncle B back out again. New soft tyres and a full tank of fuel just ahead of Ranger. Ranger just dipped under a quarter, but those tyres are really looking painful on the front of that Beetle. He's being chased down by a Koi Carp. Koi Carp doing great with the fuel, not too bad with the tyres either. He's closing that gap between himself and Ranger out there. Ranger in 7th, Koi Carp in 8th. They've got Web Smurfer chasing them down. He's on the medium tyres. He's not enjoying the softs around here at Alsace. So he's opted to drive on the medium tyres. And he's got Rido catching him up. 1.4 seconds behind is Rido. Rido doing his fastest on lap 14 of 51.1. Did a 52 at that last lap around. Smurfer doing a 51.4 his last time around. So Rido is starting to catch up. Smurfer, that's one to watch there. Digital Blast Me into the pits. Matt Psycho, I assume, is going to be pitting as well on this lap. And this really is a battle of the titans out there for this lead. Sharon, he's got enough fuel to do another couple of laps. And I imagine he's going to stay out on that tank. And Daz will be pitting at the end of this lap. As Sharon makes his way around. Digital Blast Me out of the pits though before Sharon even gets there. He's gone for 3/4 of a tank again. So Digital Blast Me opting to go for a shorter pit stop, less fuel. Interesting stuff. Sharon, Matt Psycho out of the pits. He's gone full tanks. With Skyjacker moving up to 4th as Daz goes into the pits. Skyjacker looking after his fuel. Absolutely lovely out there. And he's got himself up into 4th position. Uncle B, after pitting that last time around, is in 5th place, 4.5 seconds behind Skyjacker. Koi Carp now up to 6th. Oh, Koi Carp has caught Web Smurfer. Oh, wait. No. Web Smurfer catching Koi Carp up, possibly? Yeah, 54.6 from McCoy last time around in 6th place. And it looks like a Web Smurfer has caught up Koi Carp. The Jägermeister Beetle versus the VRC Beetle, having a battle royale. And the more they're racing each other, that gives Rido the opportunity to close in on them. And we'll have ourselves a 3-way battle out there. Koi Carp, though, on 1/4 of a tank of fuel, with Web Smurfer on 1/2 a tank of fuel. As they make their way around, Web Smurfer looking like he's getting a better drive out of that corner, going for the inside on Koi Carp. But now Koi Carp's got the inside line for this next corner. Oops. But he's just a little bit further back from Web Smurfer. But yeah, Koi Carp just nudging ahead by a nose. But Web Smurfer back in there again. Oh wow, he carried a lot of speed into that corner. Where Koi Carp, I think his tyres at the front there starting to give away on him. And Rido closing in on Koi Carp now. And yes, you can see Rido really starting to push on in this race. Daz not too far behind them as well after his... Sees all the guys he's racing with in front of him, and some of them have still got to pit. So Rido catching up with Koi. His front tyres really in pain. Smurfer, he's doing a super job now. He's up into 6th. Koi trying to keep that Beetle under control. And there is Daz. Let's get on board with Daz as we see this battle unfold ahead of us between himself, Rido, and Koi. Rido going for the inside line on Koi Carp at the moment. The better grip on his tyres helping him out in that corner, and he's got himself Rido moving up into 7th place ahead of Koi. And Daz, he's on the freshest tyres out of the lot of them, with a heavy fuel tank though, and that might hurt him down the straights. He's going for a late break on Coy, but he's back. No, he's going to go for it. Yes, he's gone for it. It looked like he had a second thought there as he headed into the corner. But no, Coy staying alongside him and staying ahead. Daz trying to make the moves as Rido is ahead of them. And it's a cracking little battle down here between Coy Carp and Daz. Ranger in 10th place. I think he's just recently pitted, so he'll be catching those guys up anytime soon. Electric, 6 seconds adrift of a Ranger. Digital Blasphemy, he's out there with half a tank of fuel. Sharen's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. And Matt Psycho is in 3rd place as Sharen goes in, so Matt Psycho will go back up into 2nd place. It'll show that he's 15 seconds behind Digital Blasphemy. He was 8 seconds before, but does he realise that Digital Blasphemy, he's doing short pit stops and not putting as much fuel on board? Skyjacker now, look at that. From his earlier moments with Web Smurfer, he's got himself back into a podium position, although he's only on a quarter of a tank of fuel with Uncle B Darren behind him on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So Uncle B Darren catching him up 2.5 seconds behind. And Sharen back out of the pits in 5th place. Rido's gone in. I think Coy Carp's gone in as well. Web Smurfer still out there in 6th. Daz in 7th. Rido in the pits. Coy Carp in the pits. Ranger, he's already pitted. Can he get around and get ahead of Rido and Coy? It looks like he has done. Up into 8th place then for Ranger. A cracking little race there having themselves at the back of the pack. Oh, Electric having a spin just before the pits, but he's into the pits now as Coy and Rido both leave. Rido 1.5 seconds ahead of Coy Carp. Digital Blasphemy then 15 filling that car. He's only on half a tank of fuel right now. Matt Sykes just under 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Oh dear. Sorry, I just looked around at the stream and it looked like it had got stuck. I'm just checking everything's okay. It looks okay. Looks a bit blurry, but I'm running it off of my phone data, so I don't know if that's the stream you're getting, or if that's just the data of my phone making it look blurry. But so far, Digital Blasphemy are leading the way with a very canny strategy so far. Interesting stuff by Digi. And Matt Psycho in 2nd place. Matt Psycho was playing down his chances tonight earlier in the Discord, saying he'd had no practice here. He wasn't sure how it was going to go. So I imagine if you'd offered him 2nd place before this race started, he would have taken it. And still might come back to him, because Digital Blasphemy, although he is now fuel saving quite well, Psycho's still got a little bit more fuel than Digital Blasphemy. Skyjacker has been caught up by Uncle B. Uncle B right there on the tail of the Monster Beetle. He's going for the move around the outside, and Sky trying to defend best he can, but Skyjacker, his tyres are looking quite old. He's still got a bit of fuel left on board, but that front left tyre, well, both front tyres are absolutely toasted. They proper are. We're really seeing some proper bad tyre wear here. The tyre wear hasn't been that bad for the earlier 3 rounds, but Alsace obviously is a tyre killer. It really is. Uncle B Darren trying to find a way past Skyjacker, probably getting quite frustrated there. He's trying to sling it up one way, just can't get the move done on Sky at the moment. He's on half a tank of fuel with Skyjacker. He's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. So Uncle B Darren, he's just got to be patient. He's got to be patient, because Sky will peel off to the right as they come down the straight. Oh no, he doesn't. I thought he was going to pit on that lap, but he's obviously decided to stay out another lap. Interesting stuff. And all the time they're battling, Shiren is catching him up. And this is becoming a lovely little three-way battle. Daz there in 6th place on half a tank of fuel. Web Smurfer has just pitted, so that should put Ranger ahead. Rido, I'm guessing it'll put Web Smurfer right in the middle of that battle. Here comes a Ranger around the final corner to move up a position. Web Smurfer still stationary, filling up with fuel. There is a Rido coming around. And Web Smurfer, he's gone for a softer set of tyres this time around. He's back out. He's 4.3 seconds behind Ranger. And 2.4 seconds ahead of Rido, who's 2.9 seconds ahead of Koi. But Koi is saving his fuel lovely out there. 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Next to Rido's half a tank of fuel, was it? Sorry, wrong button. Half a tank. Web Smurfer's just filled up. And Ranger, he's just under half a tank of fuel. Daz is 20 seconds ahead. He's on half a tank of fuel. He's trying to catch up Shiren. Oh, here we go. So, Skyjacker still ahead of Uncle B and Shiren. All three of them are battling hard out there. Skyjacker's got no tyre wear left whatsoever. Uncle B trying to get the move done, but Skyjacker is being a real pain to him. He's placing his car in the most awkward positions for Shiren now. Has got ahead of Uncle B. So, Shiren now having a crack at Skyjacker. I think Skyjacker is definitely going to pit at the end of this lap. He's got absolutely no fuel left in that car. He's driving on fumes, and how he stayed ahead of him for that lap, that is unbelievable stuff, both. Shiren up into 3rd, Uncle B down into 4th, but these two will be battling on. There's not much difference in fuel between the two of them. Shiren's tyres are a little tidier than UB's. And it's a cracking little battle. We've got 19.5 minutes left of racing here at Alsace for the VDUB Enduro Cup round 4. And Digital Blasphemy still leading from Matt Psycho. He's under 1/4 of a tank of fuel though. Matt Psycho just over 1/4 of a tank of fuel. So Digi is definitely fuel saving better than Matt Psycho, and going a little bit faster. So Digital Blasphemy really is in the zone for this race at the moment. Looks like he's catching up with Electric. Electric getting those blue flags coming his way. He's got Digital Blasphemy absolutely flying ahead of him. Digital Blasphemy making his way around. Start lap 23, and he's on the brink of the fuel going red, as Matt Psycho's got 1/4 of a tank. So Matt Psycho is doing a little better with the fuel, but you've got to remember Digital Blasphemy's only been putting 3/4 of a tank in, and he's going to try and make that last, I guess, to the 45th minute. And there we go. It's 3 minutes left of that. Matt Psycho, he's definitely got enough fuel to get to the last 1/4 of this race. Shiren has pulled away from Uncle B. Uncle B, I think, easing off that accelerator, trying to fuel save a little bit, and Daz is catching him up. And this is very interesting. Daz might be able to get a position out of this. He's in 5th place. He's on 1/4 of a tank of fuel. He's on exactly the same as Daz, Uncle B. We saw Daz and Uncle B racing each other last week. It was exhilarating. A double Darren showdown. So yeah, it looks like we're heading towards the Darrens facing off again, as Shiren holding on to that 3rd. Skyjacker pitted. He's come back out behind Daz. He's got the full tank and a brand new set of soft tyres. Don't know if he's going to be able to make that last all the way till the end of this race though. Web Smurfer not too far behind Skyjacker, only 5 seconds. He's back onto the soft tyres. And a Ranger in 8th. He seems to have lost a position. It must have been to Smurfer. But he's holding a position ahead of Rido, who is staying ahead of Koi. Digital Blasphemy is in. Now, this seems a little early. He's going to have to put a full tank in that car. Matt Psycho, will he follow suit or will he stay out there? I think he's going to stay out. He's definitely going to stay out. There he goes. So Matt Psycho takes over the lead of this race. Digital Blasphemy comes out not far behind him whatsoever. There you go. Very tight. And he's only half filled it. This is crazy. What is Digital Blasphemy doing? It's unbelievable stuff. But Matt Psycho will have to pit at the end of this lap. Digital Blasphemy, he's not even half filled his car. He's got some strange strategies going on at the moment. He's going to have the fresher tyres than Matt Psycho. Maybe he's going to try and make it a straight fight between him and Matt to the end. Matt Psycho's fuel is flashing now as he leads this race. Digital Blasphemy right on his tailgate. And wow. I honestly thought Digital Blasphemy was going to top that car right up and drive it all the way to, or try and get it to the end of this race, but no. He's less than half filled it. He's come out just behind Matt Psycho. He's been doing some calculations in his head. He's going for it. He's going ahead of Matt. And wow, what interesting racing that's going on there. Strange stuff, but super. So Digital Blasphemy back in the lead with a strange strategy indeed. Matt Psycho will be pitting at the end of this lap. Sharon, he's on a quarter of a tank of fuel at the moment, 7 seconds ahead of Uncle B. Uncle B's going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap. So is Daz. And Skyjacker, he's going to gain a couple of positions there. Web Smurfer, he's only 4.5 seconds behind Skyjacker on half a tank of fuel. Ranger in 8th. He's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Rido in 9th. Also will be wanting to make a pit stop. And Koi Carp on half a tank of fuel. Might be able to jump both of them. And Matt Psycho and Digi, or maybe it was a mistake from Digi. Maybe he didn't mean to half fill it. But they're both into the pits now. And it's a straight fight to the end of the race. This is amazing stuff between the two. Digital Blasphemy's on the move. Matt Psycho not yet on the move. He's only 3/4 filled it again. Has Digital Blasphemy. Matt Psycho, he's going for the full tank. Sharon moves ahead of him. He's got a quarter of a tank on board. He can go for a little bit longer. Matt Psycho is now, Uncle B's gone into the pits. Matt Psycho is only just leaving the pit lane. This is crazy stuff. He's 4 seconds behind Sharon and 14.8 seconds behind Digital Blasphemy. Wow. Wowzers. It's very interesting. Well, it's strange that Digital Blasphemy is getting away with doing these pit stops, but still staying in the lead. So, Sharon, Matt Psycho, he's going to go all the way to that. And Digital Blasphemy, it's going to be tight for him, I think. They are short pit stops. As you can see, Matt Psycho's pit stop is 2:20. So he's losing around about 29 seconds in his pit stops, where Digi, he's only losing around about, well, 19 seconds in that lap 23 one. But still, interesting strategy. Matt Psycho in 3rd, Skyjacker. And we assumed he's going to try and eke out that tank all the way till the end, which is going to be a struggle for him. Especially as he's got Web Smurfer catching him up. And behind, Web Smurfer doing a 50.3, but Web Smurfer might have to come in the pits before the end of this race. He's only on a quarter of a tank of fuel. Uncle B, a full tank of fuel. He'll be going all the way till the end now. He'll be hoping to catch Skyjacker and Web Smurfer and possibly Sharon. Oh, Sharon's dropped back a position. Sharon easing off the fuel, possibly. Try and make it to the end with Matt Psycho now in, well, he was he in second? No, he was behind Sharon, wasn't he? So he's got himself up ahead of Sharon on this lap as Sharon comes into the pits. Skyjacker, plenty of fuel still on board. Think he might try and eke that fuel out till the end. We've only got 12 minutes left of racing, so you never know. Sharon, is he going to get out? He should get out ahead of Skyjacker, surely. Skyjacker crossing the line, back into that 3rd place. Sharon's just leaving the pits now, and he stays ahead of Skyjacker, but only just. Skyjacker right on his tail. And Sharon, he only 3/4 filled it. So he's only got a little bit more fuel than Skyjacker. And he's out there. He's looking like he's good for that podium position. A Web Smurfer. He hasn't pitted on this lap, but he's not going to get that fuel all the way till the end, so he will be pitting again. Uncle B will be wanting to get by him, as will a Daz. And possibly a Ranger there in 8th place. Oh no, he's a little bit too far back, I think Ranger is, to get that position from Web Smurfer. But Daz possibly might be able to. It's less than 10 seconds behind Web Smurfer. So it's an interesting one. Rido in 9th. He's pulled away from Koikarp a little bit now. Koikarp is doing his run all the way till the end, but so is Rido. Rido has done very well in this race. Stay ahead of Koikarp, pull away from him. Electric. We saw he had a couple of issues earlier on in this race that's put him to the back. A couple of spins and such what. But this man today, Digital Blasphemy, has absolutely owned this racetrack in this vehicle. So hats off to the man. I know we've still got 10 minutes left of racing. He's got half a tank of fuel, where Matt Psycho's got 3/4. Matt Psycho's gone and got the fastest lap of the race so far. Digital Blasphemy, he's running in the 50s, but he's going purple now. Web Smurfer has gone into the pit, so Uncle B moves up into 5th. And what can Daz do? Daz goes up into 6th place. And Web Smurfer, don't know if he needs to refill the whole tank. Ranger would love to get that position from Web Smurfer, but I think Web Smurfer's going to be out before Ranger gets to the scene of the crime. And there goes Web Smurfer back in 7th, with a Ranger just crossing the line, so he's very much closer to a Web Smurfer. But Web Smurfer has filled right up. Daz some 16 seconds ahead of him, only 5.7 seconds behind Uncle B. And oh my, could we have a showdown between them? Skyjacker, he's having to turn his car right down to get that to the end. Sharon, he's not going to catch up Matt Psycho today, I don't think. Matt Psycho in 2nd. Digital Blasphemy. It's going to be tight come the end of this race. Digital Blasphemy doing a 150 last time around. And what sort of pace is Matt Psycho doing? 149.8. He is trying to close the gap between himself and Digital Blasphemy as they come across Electric on track. Electric trying to stay out of the way. He's come off of the accelerator a little bit there to let Matt Psycho through, and there goes Matt Psycho through to chase down Digital Blasphemy. Sharon some 24 seconds behind those guys, but only 3.5 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker's fuel is going to be tight to the end of the race. He's done a 52.0. Sharon doing a 50.6 that last time around. And Uncle B doing a 50.5. So Skyjacker really having to turn the wick down on his car. I imagine he's going to let Uncle B catch him up somewhat and then turn the car back up and try and get to the end of the race. But it's going to be tight, as we are just over 7.5 minutes from the checkered flag. And Digital Blasphemy still leads from Matt Psycho. These two contesting the championship together. Not many points apart, I think. As I look for it, for the table, I can tell you that Matt Psycho is leading the championship on 49 points and Digital Blasphemy on 42 points. And yeah, that'll close that gap up somewhat between the two of them, as Matt Psycho's trying to close the gap up on track. I think you get 2 points extra for the win. But Matt Psycho's got the fastest lap, so he's only going to get a 1 point extra. Is Digital Blasphemy finishing there? Unless Digital Blasphemy tries to get the fastest lap before the end of the race. But will he have the fuel for it? Who knows? Shiren in that third place, holding station ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker sliding it into that final corner. Beautiful stuff these Beetles are. Uncle B trying to close the gap between himself and Skyjacker, and he is doing. He's got it down to 3.6 seconds from Skyjacker. And it's a tight battle between himself. Oh, Skyjacker's had a big off. Oh no, Skyjacker's had an off. Uncle B goes by, and it's Daz now we're looking at. Daz as he catches up Skyjacker. Skyjacker off again. There must be something going terribly wrong in that car. Don't know if he's having wheel issues. He can't even get the accelerator down. Maybe there's something wrong. There we go. He's on the go now. But he's lost 2 positions there. He was doing a great job holding on to that 4th place. But now Uncle B is up into 4th as Daz is in 5th. Another great drive from Daz in this race. Skyjacker in 6th, just ahead of Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer trying to push the car to its limits to catch up with Skyjacker, and he'll be feeling quite buoyant now as he's just seen it drop down to less than 3-4 seconds between himself and Skyjacker. Skyjacker's tyres very, very old in this race, where Web Smurfers are still quite fresh. Ranger in 8th, he's 11 seconds ahead of Arido, although he's just ghosted. I hope everything's okay. Maybe he's gone off for a little pee-pee. Oh, he's back again. And Rido chasing him down, 10 seconds behind, and he's 7 seconds ahead of Coy. Coy saving his fuel quite nicely in this race. He's trying to catch up with Rido. And Digital Blasphemy still maintaining that 13-second lead. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel left, and we've only got 4.5 minutes left of racing. So I just don't think there's anything Matt Psycho can do here. He's going to finish in 2nd place, and it looks like Shiren is going to get the final podium position, it would seem. Super stuff then. Uncle B moving up to 4th, but Daz is closing that gap to him. Uncle B might be in trouble because Daz now starting to push. Skyjacker's going in. He wants new tyres, I reckon. It's not so much about fuel that. I think he wants fresh tyres. Web Smurfer goes by as Skyjacker gets... The tyres are really struggle round here for these guys. A Ranger trying to close the gap, but Skyjacker is back out of the pits, and he's only 9 seconds behind Web Smurfer. Web Smurfer's, though, his tyres are quite fresh. So I don't know, maybe Skyjacker has decided he's going to go for fastest lap, get a point that way. Digital Blasphemy leading the way, though, 14 seconds on Matt Psycho, with Shiren in 3rd. Then you have Uncle B and Daz. Oh my lord, the battle of the Darrens again. We are in for a treat. Uncle B trying to stay ahead of Daz as they battle it out here for that final position, that 4th position between the two of them. And this is a right treat. A right treat. So Uncle B, Matt Psycho's gone into the pits. Matt Psycho's gone into the pits. That's crazy. I don't understand. He might have the, or maybe he's got the fastest lap. He's got the fastest lap. That's he's gone for fresh tyres. So Digital Blasphemy, he can just cruise on home now. Matt Psycho going for a late pit stop for fresh tyres. Maybe he's going to go for a fastest lap. Shiren, he's gone in as well. Oh my word, I don't understand what's going on here. Uncle B, he's not that far behind Shiren. Maybe they all want the fastest lap or something, I don't know. But Shiren's been into the pits. Uncle B's onto the start straight line, and he's not got it yet. Shiren's back out again. Oh my word, very weird movements with only 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left of racing, and we're seeing some late dash pit stops. Daz has dropped back from Uncle B at the moment. Web Smurfer is in 6th, with Skyjacker in 7th after he made a pit stop. Ranger in 8th. Rido in 9th. Koikar in 10th. And Electric in 11th. And it looks to me like a Digital Blasphemy is catching up. Koikart on track. I was wondering what Koikart was getting the blue flags for. But Koikart, he's in the middle of a battle himself, trying to catch Rido up. Rido's fuel is low. He's going to try and make it last this last lap. This will be the last lap for a lot of these guys. But Digital Blasphemy now starting this lap, which should be the final lap with just over a minute left of racing. Matt Psycho, he's obviously got them fresh tyres to try and get or secure his fastest lap, because he's already got the fastest lap in this race. But possibly he's going for a faster lap, as maybe he noticed Skyjacker pitting earlier on and thought, oh, he's going to try and pinch my point. Skyjacker 5/10 up. It was purple, it's just changed to blue, so I don't know if someone else has gone faster. But Matt Psycho, I think he's going for the fastest lap. I think Sharen's going to be going for the fastest lap. This is all very interesting stuff out there at the moment. Uncle B seems to have survived against Daz, but Daz is coming back at him. 30 seconds left on the clock. Web Smurfer crosses the line. He's not too far behind that battle of the Darrens. Skyjacker then, can he get that fastest lap? He's got another bite at the cherry if he doesn't get it this time. Ooh, it was close. 2/10 off of that fastest lap, and Skyjacker's going for another one. And Ranger there in 8th place. We've only got 8 seconds on the clock, so I think Ranger will be the first to finish in 8th, ahead of Rido and Koi as he comes around. And the time has disappeared, so that is it for Ranger. Well done, in 8th place. Rido trying to stay ahead of Koikart, and he's on fumes coming around those final corners, and he'll be happy to see that checkered flag, and he finishes there in 9th spot. Great stuff from Rido. Koikart brings it home in 10th as Digital Blasphemy brings it home for his first win of the season. Super stuff from Digital Blasphemy. Matt Psycho then, he's trying to secure that fastest lap as he makes his way around the final corners, and he gets fastest lap with a 49.0. Sharen though, he's going to be looking for it as well. He came in and put some fresh tyres on at the end of this race, and this was a crazy little ending to a race there. They all decided they wanted the fastest lap, but Matt Psycho so far is the man holding on to it with a 49.080. And Sharen, he comes across electric as he comes around, and he gets to finish on the podium. Take a boo, my son, a 49.4. He nearly got it. Uncle B still fighting with Daz. Oh my lord, these two racing on fumes with barely anything between them, but Uncle B gets his 4th place. And Daz grabs 5th. Cracking racing from them two. Web Smurfer crosses the line in 6th. And Skyjacker, he's run out of fuel, I think. So he doesn't get the fastest lap, but oof. He finishes in 7th, ahead of Ranger in 8th. Rido in 9th, Koikart 10th. Wow, what a race. What an interesting and super race. And Digital Blasphemy, well, he just ran a very good race. There he is, showing us his trophy. It looks lovely. A well done, Digi. Super stuff. Right, I'll quickly grab the replay, because, that's the way it goes. And we'll take you to the race results. And there you go. Digital Blasphemy bumped a little ting there on his race suit, taking the win. But only really gaining a point on Matt Psycho, with Matt Psycho getting the fastest lap in the race and 2nd spot. So Matt Psycho only losing a point to Digital Blasphemy in the championship, but still great. Rido saying, a booyah, baby. Happy with that. You did a great job, Rido. Very good racing. And Mama Sykes saying, Sunday night racing is the best. Oh, bless you. Thank you. And great guys, great thingy, says Mama Sykes. So Digital Blasphemy takes the win. Matt Psycho comes home in 2nd place, and Sharen rounds out the podium. Then you had the Battle of the Darrens again for 4th and 5th, with Uncle B Darren finishing 4th and Daz finishing in 5th place. The new boy, a Web Smurfer, can hold his head high after that, because he did a great race and got himself in 6th place. Skyjacker finishing in 7th, with a Ranger coming home in 8th, a Rido in 9th, Koikarp in 10th, and Electric finishing in 11th. And we lost Turtle along the way, unfortunately. And Matt Psycho got the fastest lap on the final lap, I think, on lap 32 with a 49.080. And that was very interesting at the end there. A few of them coming in for new tyres, trying to get that 1 point available for the fastest lap. And in the end, it was Matt Psycho that got it. Brilliant stuff. Well, I enjoyed that, people. Hopefully you did too. It was cracking stuff. And again, Digital Blasphemy. Very good stuff. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Daryl Rear. Thank you for watching. And catch us next time. I think there'll be a stream for the GTMC replay later on this evening, and we'll be live again next Friday. Pat in the chat saying racing looked great throughout. Well done, everyone. Cheers, Pat. And yes, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next time I'm on. Peace and love.